Your roof right now is not protecting you. It is collecting heat, pulling it in, holding it down, pushing it straight into the room where you sleep. And every month, you pay a company to fight that heat, a company that knows exactly why your roof was built that way. In 1991, one document was quietly removed from every residential construction manual in America. Not banned, not disproven, just gone. What was in that document had been working for over 200 years. A $7 bag, a brush, one Saturday morning, and an entire industry went very quiet. By the end of this video, you will understand why no contractor, no home inspector, and no builder has ever mentioned this to you. That is not an accident. Welcome to Hidden Fix Lab, the place where buried science gets pulled off the shelf and handed to the people it was always meant for. Now, before we go any further, do something for this channel that only takes 2 seconds. Hit that subscribe button right now. Think of it like your neighbor knocking on your door to tell you your pipes are leaking. You would want that neighbor around, be that neighbor for someone else. Subscribe so the next video finds you too. And while you're at it, drop a comment below. Where in the world are you watching this from? Whether you are sitting in Phoenix in 103-degree heat, or somewhere in England wondering why your upstairs is always stuffy, we want to know, because this problem does not stop at any border. Now, let us get into it. Somewhere in the hills of Crete, around 1500 BC, a builder made a decision that would quietly outlast every air conditioning unit ever manufactured. He mixed lime with water. He painted it white across the roof and walls of his home, and the house stayed cool, not by accident, by design. That builder was Minoan. His civilization had no electricity, no refrigerant, no compressor humming in the backyard. What they had was observation, generations of it. They noticed that white surfaces reflected the sun, dark surfaces pulled it in. They built accordingly, and archaeologists have confirmed this in excavations at Knossos and Akrotiri, where lime-coated building surfaces have been documented and dated to the Bronze Age. That is not folklore. That is the archaeological record. The Egyptians carried the same knowledge forward. Their temples and exterior walls were coated in white lime plaster, not for decoration, for thermal protection. The Egyptian climate reached extremes that would overwhelm a modern home without mechanical cooling. Lime wash was their answer. It reflected solar radiation and kept interior spaces livable through summers that regularly exceeded 110 degrees Fahrenheit. That practice is documented in architectural surveys of ancient Egyptian construction methods, cross-referenced with material analysis of surviving wall coatings. The Persians took it even further. They built structures called malkaf, wind catchers, tall towers designed to funnel moving air down into living spaces below. But the towers alone were not enough. The roofs beneath them were coated white to reduce the radiant heat load pressing down into the building. Napoleon's own artists sketched these systems in detail when French forces arrived in Cairo in 1798. They were drawing something that had been working without interruption for over 2,000 years. In 1666, the Great Fire of London destroyed thousands of buildings. King John had actually issued a decree centuries earlier ordering all houses along the Thames to be whitewashed. The reasoning then was fire resistance, because lime is a natural fire retardant, but the thermal benefit came with it, quietly, without anyone needing to name it. The knowledge was in the walls, literally. The Amish inherited this understanding, not from a textbook, but from practice passed down across generations. Their communities in Holmes County, Ohio, and Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, still build with orientation, mass, shade, and lime wash as primary tools. Their roofs run light, their eaves run deep. Their interiors stay steady while the thermometer outside climbs past 90 degrees. They never called it science, they called it building properly. Then in 1973, researchers at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory decided to test what the ancient world had already proven. They placed 2 identical flat roofs side by side. One was dark, the other was coated with powdered limestone mixed with water, the same base compound as lime wash. The coated roof ran 40 degrees Fahrenheit cooler at the surface. The interior beneath it dropped 8 degrees with no mechanical assistance of any kind. The experiment confirmed what the Minoans, the Egyptians, the Persians, and the Amish had known for centuries. Physics does not change. Only the people allowed to know about it do. That is just economics. The sun does not heat a house the way most people think. It does not sneak in through a cracked window. It does not seep slowly through a brick wall. It arrives as invisible energy, moves at the speed of light, and converts itself into heat the moment it touches a dark surface. That surface is called a roof. The Department of Energy confirmed it decades ago. 93% of the heat entering a home through its roof arrives as radiant energy. Not hot air, not conduction through wooden beams, pure infrared radiation beaming down from the sun, absorbed by dark asphalt shingles, and re-emitted straight into the attic space below. On a typical summer afternoon, the surface of a dark asphalt roof reaches 160 degrees Fahrenheit. The attic beneath it hits 140. Then that superheated air presses down through the ceiling insulation and into the living space below. The air conditioner kicks on, it runs, it keeps running, and the electricity meter keeps turning. A 2014 study published in the journal Energy in Buildings measured the thermal performance of reflective roof coatings across multiple climate zones. The findings were direct. White reflective surfaces reduced roof surface temperatures by an average of 42 degrees Fahrenheit compared to standard dark roofing. Cooling energy consumption dropped between 18 and 26%, depending on climate. That is not a small number. That is nearly a quarter of an entire cooling bill eliminated by surface color alone. A second study from Oak Ridge National Laboratory, one of the most respected energy research institutions in the United States, tested radiant barrier foil installed on the underside of roof rafters in residential attics. Attic temperatures dropped by 30 degrees. Air conditioner runtime fell between 40 and 70%, depending on the home. 40 to 70% less runtime. On a machine, most families run for 4 to 6 months every year. Now here is where it gets uncomfortable. The pink fiberglass insulation, sitting in most American attics, addresses conduction and convection. It slows heat that moves through physical contact and through air movement. It does almost nothing against radiant energy. And radiant energy is 93% of the problem. Homeowners have been sold a product that addresses 7% of the actual heat load and told it was the complete solution. That is just economics. In 1991, something disappeared. No announcement, no regulatory decision, no study disproving it. Radiant barrier technology, a method that had been tested, documented, and proven across 2 decades of Department of Energy research, was quietly removed from the major residential construction reference manuals used to train every builder, contractor, and home inspector in the United States. One edition it was there, the next edition it was gone. Nobody explained why. To understand what happened, it helps to understand who had the most to lose. The global HVAC market generates $130 billion every year. The North American insulation market, dominated by 3 companies, Owens Corning, Johns Manville, and CertainTeed, generates billions more. These are not small businesses protecting thin margins. These are industries whose entire revenue model depends on one condition being permanently true. Your house must stay hot enough to need their products. A $54 roll of radiant barrier foil that cuts air conditioner runtime by half is not a product that fits inside that model. That is just economics. The Asphalt Roofing Manufacturers Association, known as ARMA, represents the companies producing the dark shingles installed on nearly every residential roof in America. Their lobbying record is public. Their influence on building codes is documented. In March 2025, a lobbyist connected to the roofing industry worked with Tennessee State Representative Rusty Grills to strip a reflective roofing requirement directly out of a commercial building energy code. The amendment passed. Independent analysts stated publicly that the change would result in higher energy costs and increased heat-related deaths across one of the hottest states east of the Mississippi. The state made its residents hotter, officially, on the record. Baltimore fought the same battle in 2022. ARMA lobbied against a cool roof ordinance, publicly claiming that dark roofs were the more energy-efficient choice even in warm climates. Multiple independent studies contradicted that claim directly. Baltimore passed the ordinance in 2023 anyway. Most cities never even reached that fight. Most cities never heard about it. Dr. Hashem Akbari, a senior researcher at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, spent years publishing peer-reviewed evidence that reflective roofing could reduce urban air temperatures, cut cooling costs, and save lives during heat waves. His research was accurate. His methodology was sound. His findings were largely ignored by the industry bodies that controlled what got written into building codes and construction manuals. A 2024 study published in Nature Cities calculated that reflective roofing could have prevented more than 240 deaths during London's 2018 heat wave alone. His work did not disappear because it was wrong. It was sidelined because it was right. Homeowners associations have added another layer. Across the country, HOA rulebooks contain explicit prohibitions against white or reflective roofing. Many of these rules have existed for decades. Most homeowners who live under them have never questioned where those rules came from or who originally wrote them. The knowledge was not lost. It was filed away, lobbied out, and ruled against, one building code at a time. That is just economics. The solution has never been complicated. It has only been made invisible. Here is exactly what any homeowner can do this weekend, without a contractor, without a permit, and without spending more than the cost of a family dinner. Step 1. The roof. Surface. At any hardware store in the country, 150 lb bag of Type S hydrated lime costs between $7 and $14. For an average 1,200 square foot roof, 2 bags cover the entire surface with 2 full coats. The mixing ratio is simple. 1 part lime powder to 2 parts clean water. Stir until the consistency matches thin milk. Not paste, not thick paint, thin milk. A standard paint roller with a thick nap or a wide masonry brush applies it evenly across the surface. First coat goes on completely, Then it dries for a full day in open air. Second coat follows. Total material cost for the entire roof sits between $14 and $28. That is the complete exterior treatment. Step 2, the radiant barrier inside the attic. The second layer of protection goes up just as simply. Perforated radiant barrier foil, sold at most home improvement stores under names like Attic Foil or Low E Foil, costs between $30 and $60 for a 500 square foot roll. One person can cover an average attic in 3 to 4 hours using nothing more than a staple gun and a utility knife. That is the complete interior treatment. The case of Robert M., San Antonio, Texas, summer 2023. Robert was a retired school teacher, 58 years old, living alone in a 1,400 square foot home built in 1987. His July electricity bill averaged $310. His attic thermometer read 141 degrees on a typical afternoon. His air conditioner ran almost continuously from noon until after midnight. He applied 2 coats of Type S lime wash to his roof over a single Saturday. The following weekend, he installed perforated radiant barrier foil across his entire attic ceiling. Total spending was $71. By mid-August, his attic temperature had dropped to 103 degrees. His air conditioner was shutting off by early evening. His August electricity bill came in at $194, $116 saved in a single month, with no contractor, no permit, and no monthly payment to anyone. The cost comparison. A new central air conditioning system costs between $5,000 and $15,000 installed. It requires professional maintenance. It consumes electricity every month it operates. It has a lifespan of 15 years before replacement becomes necessary. The lime wash and radiant barrier system combined costs under $90. It requires reapplication of lime wash every 2 to 3 years at a cost of under $30. It consumes 0 electricity. It has no moving parts to replace. Over 10 years, the difference in total cost between these two approaches runs into the tens of thousands of dollars. The Minoans knew this 3,500 years ago. The Amish have practiced it for over 200 years. The Department of Energy confirmed it in peer-reviewed research across 2 decades. And a retired school teacher in San Antonio proved it on a Saturday afternoon for $71. The lime is still on the shelf at the hardware store. The foil is still in the home improvement aisle. The sky above every roof in this country is still operating at minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit for infrared radiation. Nothing about the physics has changed. The only thing that was ever missing was someone willing to say it plainly. That is just economics.